Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wet Shaving with Angelo. I'm Angelo, and today's gonna be a good day and a good shave. And today's focus is on budget shaving. More importantly, how do you get started wet shaving if you're on a really tight budget? And I am going to show you how you can get started wet shaving for approximately $30. And then mind you, this is just an guesstimate price. Depending where you buy some of these items, maybe more, maybe less. However it is, I'm going to show you, the viewer, how you can get started wet shaving for approximately $30. Okay, first thing you're going to need is a brush, a shave brush. And the brush I'm going to be using today is a boar brush from Omega. I have it soaking in a coffee mug right now. This is the Omega 10049 Pro Boar Brush. And this is a very good brush to start off with. There is a slight animal smell to the boar brushes at first, but as you use it as you use a boar brush over and over again, the odor goes away, and yes, the board bristles are very stiff at first, but the tips soften over time, and they create split ends. And a board brush is really good if you have ingrown hairs or ingrown whiskers. The split ends will create a hook in the bristles, and those hooks will pull the ingrown hairs out of your face. It's good for exfoliating your skin, so I'm going to use the Omega boar brush. For soap of choice, I used to have this in the past, but then I piffed it, but then I rebought it again. Arko Shave Soap. For $7 on Amazon, $7, you can get Arko Shave Soap in a 90-gram tub, or roughly 90 grams or approximately 3.14 ounces. Now, I will admit, Arko's scent is very polarizing. Some people say it smells like cleaning equipment, or worse. To me, it's just a very strong, clean, soapy, lemony scent. And Arko does very well. It does lather very well. And Arko's been around in the shave soap or shave stick form since 1957, and it's made and created in Turkey. So that's the soap I'll be using, and that's a $7 soap. For aftershave of choice, you can find this in Walmart or any drugstore. Gillette Cool Wave aftershave. I tried my best to find a description of the fragrance of this aftershave, but there's no official scent notes. But all they say is it's a clean, crisp, refreshing scent, and I agree with the description. It is a very clean, masculine, refreshing scent. Gillette Cool Wave has been around since 1993. That is a modern day bottle. So I'm using Gillette Cool Wave as my aftershave of choice. For razor of choice, this was recommended to me by one of my viewers. This is the Wilkinson Sword Classic. It's got a little piece of metal in the handle, and it's a two-piece razor where you unscrew the head underneath, and the top cap comes off, and you put the blade in the top cap, and you put it back together. And the Wilkinson Sword Classic will cost you $8 on Amazon. I should go back to the Gillette Cool Wave for 1 second and mention, if you find this in Walmart, you're going to pay as little as $4.50 for a 100 milliliter bottle. And that can last you quite a while, depending on how much aftershave you use. So for $4.50, or if you want to round it up, $5, you can get a bottle of Gillette Cool Wave aftershave in a glass bottle. It's going to smell real nice. And the razor of choice, like I said, Wilkinson Sword Classic, which costs $8 on Amazon, and it comes with a 5-pack of Wilkinson Sword blades, which is what I'm going to be using today, modern day Wilkinson Sword blade. And I will say this, there are additional purchases you will have to make when you start wet shaving. You will want to invest in a styptic pencil, which you can find dirt cheap at Walmart for $1 and change, or in drugstores for $3 to $4. And only because when you start wet shaving, you're going to have little cuts here and there, and even throughout your journey, you may cut yourself slightly, and a styptic pencil will stop the bleeding. And also, I highly recommend you invest in a blade sampler pack. You can find very good blade sampler packs on Amazon for about $9 or $10, maybe $15. And you can get a wide variety of brands to test out. because double-edged blades are very personal for every wet shaver. One, like, even if you have 10 wet shavers with the same make and model razor, you're going to have 10 different favorite blades for that make and model razor with those 10 different wet shavers. So I'm going to wet the face and get the lathering with the Omega board brush and the Arko shave soap for the first pass with the grain. So how's everyone doing out there? Having good shaves? Let me know in the comments. And the reason I soak the boar brush is because when you soak an animal hair brush, whether it's boar or badger or horsehair, it softens the bristles for more comfortable shave, for more comfortable lather. Plus, boar bristles absorb water way better than badger or horsehair, and definitely better than synthetics. So I'm going to build my lather. And boar is very good at building a lot of lather because of the stiff bristles. It's easy to build a ton of lather on a hard soap or any soap really using a boar brush. And I know some people say no to boar, but you can get a boar brush from Omega for as little as $9 or $10 on Amazon, and you can be sure of the quality of it. It's an Italian-made brush. I'm already getting a ton of Arko soap lather building. And yes, there is Arko shave sticks you can get for way cheaper. But I'm going with the puck because I'm just used to using shave soap pucks or shave soap tubs. I got a pretty good decent lather going on. I'm going to apply it to the face. And I'm working with a day's worth of stubble. And I can definitely tell soaking the brush in the coffee mug really softened the bristles. Because these were very stiff bristles at first, which is good if you like a brush with backbone. Boar is definitely a good option. If you like a brush that has a lot of backbone, boar is definitely a good option. I mean, at first, yes, the brush will have a little odor to it and it will shed a little bit here and there. But after 2 weeks of constant usage, you shouldn't have a problem. I will admit I haven't used this brush as much as I should have, but it is a good brush. It's a nice lather. Somebody say it's a little dry. I say it's just fine. Everyone has a different opinion about what's good lather or not. I say whatever works for me, works for me. What works for you, works for you. I may add some more water to the brush for the second pass and maybe even the third pass just to get a little more moisture going on. But otherwise, it's a good lather. Arko does make a good lather and it's very slick. First pass with the grain. And the Wilkinson Sword classic razor, the razor I'm using, is very nice and mild. So if you're a beginner wet shaver, you can get a decent razor for not a lot for a very little amount of money, $8. $8 on Amazon. And it provides a good shave. You do have to be careful with the threading on the razor head that you don't strip or break the threading because it is plastic. But I was aiming for a real budget level shave for a newbie to start off with. I thought for $30 this would be a good setup to start a new wet shaver on their journey. Or at least quasi decent. I will admit Arko is a love it or hate it soap. Like you either love it because of its performance or you hate the scent of it. Okay. Any additional buy purchases on top of the $30 you'd spend, like I said, you'll need to buy a blade sample pack to see what blade works best for your skin and beard type. Because different blades will respond differently to different people. Some wet shavers prefer a mild blade. Others prefer a more aggressive blade. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't include the blades as part of the cost, because this razor does come with a 5-count packet of Wilkinson Sword blades, and it is a mild razor, so you should have good shaves with it. But I wouldn't guarantee it. Excuse me, sorry, I had a little lather in my nose. Oh, almost forgot to lather on my chin. But definitely invest in a blade sampler pack and look for stiffening pencils, because when you're starting out wet shaving, you may cut yourself here or there, and it's good to have a tool that helps stop the bleeding. Okay, that was the first pass with the grain. We're going to do the second pass across the grain. And it did knock down a good amount of stubble, but there's still some left I can feel. I'm going to get the brush a little water on there. Get it nice and wet. Add to the slickness, add to the volume of lather. And some say board brushes eat lather, or they consume a lot of lather, so it does take a little time when you're cleaning your brush out to get all the excess lather out of your brush, but board's a good start. You know, I mean, normally I would recommend synthetic brushes, but for a real low budget entry shave kit that's actually worth its weight and that's actually worth the price of admission, board's not bad. You know, for $10 you get an Italian-made shave brush, and most Italian barbers will recommend using a board brush over synthetic, over Badger, or horsehair, because like as you use the board brush, the tips get softer and softer, and they rival that, and the softness kind of rivals that of Badger sometimes, from what I've heard, or even synthetics, or it comes close to synthetic softness. And if you have ingrown hairs, a Badger bristle brush will yank out any ingrown hairs on your face or wherever you're shaving. Because of the hooks caused by split ends of the board brush. So don't be alarmed when you see split ends on your board brush. That's perfectly natural. That's a nice lather. Okay, let's rinse off. Let's just wipe off the lather on our lips and get rinsed off our hands. And dry our hands off. Okay, now we're going to do the second pass across the grain. And one thing I like about plastic razors, whether they're Bakelite or regular plastic, is that if you run a lot of hot water on them, they don't get super hot in the hand. I've used metal razors. Still love the metal razors, like the stainless steel, brass, and all that. But with metal razors, I have to be careful how much hot water I run on the head or run on the razor, because after a while the heat conducts on the handle of the razor, or heat conducts through the head to the handle, and the handle gets very hot. Sometimes hot to the touch. So I have to switch over to cold water. But with a plastic handle razor, there's no problem, because the plastic stays cool even under very hot water. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, of course. So far, a very good shave. Oh, got a little ladder on my glasses. That happens. But yeah, one of my viewers quite a while back recommended this razor for me to test out. And actually, I went out and bought it on Amazon for $8, or around $8. Again, different sellers have different prices. And I gotta say, for $8, this is a good starter razor to use. Heck, even a good daily driver. It's not so aggressive that you're afraid to use it. It's just a comfortable shaver. But yeah, I would say this is a good setup to start someone on their wet shaving journey. Although, if I had to choose a soap to start someone off that's commercially made, I would probably give them a Proraso soap. But for someone on a really tight budget that wants to start wet shaving but doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money, Arko's not bad. Arko ain't bad either. Arko isn't bad either. Actually, it's quite good. Slick lather, easy to build a lather on the pucker of Arko. And for $7 for a 90-gram pucker of Arko, that's not too bad. It's going to last you a while. It's not triple milled, but it's a good soap to use. And I could go for a third pass, but I'm going to stop right here and rinse off my face and apply the aftershave. So this is where I use cold water. Okay, let's dry ourselves off and wipe off the excess lather. But yeah, if you can get past the scent of Arko, because it does have a very strong lemony, soapy scent to it. If you can get past that scent, you can really get a good use out of Arko shave soap. And like I said, board brushes, once you get past the break-in period, they can be wonderful to use. Okay, just clean myself off. Now I'm going to use a little Gillette Cool Wave aftershave that you can find in Walmart for about $4.50. Hold on. A lovely fresh scent. Very refreshing. A little mossy here and there. Nice alcohol burn. Good aftershave all around. So yeah, the board brush by Omega is $10. Yarko Shave Soap is $7. The razor I just used, the Wilkinson Sword Classic, is $8. And the July Cool Wave Aftershave, you can buy it at Walmart for $4.50 or $5, depending where you get it. Well, everyone, and that's a total of $30 invested for a starter wet shave kit. Well, everyone, have a good day and have a good shaves, everyone. Goodbye.